What's good, Teen Talk fam? It's your host, B. Shaw, and today I'm here with
Your boy DJ J in the building.
Serenity.
And Miss KK.
And Deshaun B.
Yes. Thank you all so much for pulling up to today's shows. We have so much interesting stuff we're about to talk about today. But before we get started, let's get into some of Miss Nikki's success stories for the week. Let's start off with Day Day. Can you give us a success story for this week?
I'm always blessed to be here with you guys every Saturday. It's always a blessing. That's one of my successes for today. Also, I'm almost done with my counseling class as well. I have like 7 more weeks, so that's been a long journey and definitely a success as well because I'm learning a lot. So, yeah, I think that's my successes for this week.
That's big, bro. I'm proud of you. Keep that going, all right, bro?
For
How
sure.
about Serenity? Can you give us a success story for this week?
A success story for this week is, so I've been waking up and changing my morning routine. So I started waking up, praying, doing some affirmations, and doing some mirror talks. And I've been very consistent with that. So I would say that's definitely a success for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. New routines are always very, very good, especially if you could keep consistent with it. So keep that going. That's good. That's good to hear. How about Miss
Thank you.
KK? Can we hear
Yeah.
from you?
So my success was that I am officially the new Lee Business School Senator. So I am a part of the CSUN at UNLV, and I look forward to, getting my university initiatives going before I graduate. So I'm going to be able to leave my impact on the university in a big way with this new position.
That is so big. I didn't even know that. That's crazy. We're gonna have to talk about that after the show. I'm proud of you. Good job.
Thank you.
And yeah, Deshaun, can we hear your success story for the week?
Yes, my success story for this week would definitely just be me getting help with my financial aid for school. Originally, they told me my financial aid was suspended due to me having issues last semester, but after speaking with the advisors up there, they let me know that it was reversible for this semester. So that was definitely my biggest blessing because I was not trying to pay that balance.
That's good, bro. I'm glad you spoke for yours and it worked out, right? So that's perfect.
Yes.
Congratulations to all of you for all your successes. And remember to celebrate even your small successes every day and night throughout the week. All right, it's time to get the teens talking. Anytime during our show, if you have a question or comment, please DM us on Instagram at Teen Talk Vegas 881. All right, y'all. For this part of the show, we're going to be discussing some of the dopest inventions created by the hands of Black people. These forgotten about icons have not only paved the way, but they've also changed the progression of the culture we live in today. With that being said, Miss KK, if you could bring any Black inventor as your special guest to a billionaire ball, who would he be?
I'm going to have to think on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and pass that over to Deshaun B and see who he's bringing to the party.
Well,
right,
look,
Deshaun.
I'm bringing Mr. Hakeem Shannon, who is the CEO and founder of Flipstick. What I love most about Mr. Hakeem is just every time he had the opportunity to sell his business, he did that. And he created a Flipstick, and I actually have one on the back of my phone. You're able to stick it on the back of your phone and place it either on a TV stand, a mirror, your wall, anywhere you can imagine. You can just place your phone right there. And it's very convenient, especially if you're on FaceTime. It's hands-free. I'm going to have Mr. Hakeem Shannon there with me because he's also one of these new age inventors as well. So he's making things very easy for us. So I'm definitely excited to bring him.
That's definitely amazing, especially since he's a more new school artist. We hear a lot of, I'm sorry, I said artists. We hear a lot of inventors that are from a very long time ago. The fact that you found one that is recent and it correlates to the youth live directly, that's awesome. So that's definitely a W. Can I ask, yeah, how about Day Day? Do you have an inventor that you would bring to a billionaire ball party?
Yes, sir. I like Mr. Wally Amos. He invented the famous Amos cookies. Those cookies are so delicious. Like you can eat those cookies like anytime, like in the morning, you got your coffee, you go to the vending machine, get you some famous Amos cookies.
Man.
And he's a Black inventor. So, I just really I just love his invention. So, that's what I would bring to the party.
Nah, definitely. You learn something new every day because I didn't even know a Black person created that. And yeah, I remember in like 6th grade, I saw someone with them. They look so good. I want to go straight to the store and give you a whole fire.
Yeah.
How about you, Serenity? do you have an inventor that you would want to bring to the Billionaire Ball?
Yeah, I do. So the inventor I'm going to bring is Lonnie G. Johnson. He was born in 1949 and he invented the Super Soaker. He also attended Tuskegee University, so obviously you know that HBC pride is definitely in that.
Okay.
That's
Yep, and
big.
he also was one of the inventors on NASA's team, so which is really big. Like that's
He also
amazing.
recently got an $80 million settlement too for a super soaker invention. So
Look,
Exactly.
that
And he's
was
still
like
alive
big.
to
That was
and he's
really
still
big.
alive to
Yeah.
this day.
like
Like
give him his flowers.
exactly.
That's amazing to hear. And I actually didn't know that. The Super Soaker, I assumed that was just like a factory, item. But the fact that another Black person created that, it just shows the impact that Black people really have on today's society and culture. And speaking of that, Serenity, I'm gonna pass this back to you. If you could tell your ancestors thank you, what would you say?
Um I'll definitely tell them so I'll say thank you for not giving up on yourself and to keep pushing and to keep going hard and not giving up, keep praying because if they would have given up, then we wouldn't have the things we would have today. We wouldn't have the freedom we have. We wouldn't be able to go to school. We wouldn't be able to have an education as far as college, you know. We wouldn't have so much if they were to just stop fighting or if they was like, oh, we can't do this, if they was to give up. So I definitely thank them for not giving up at all.
Definitely. And yeah, I like to touch on that. Giving up, it was something very easy for them because they did not have a lot. And the position they were in, it was easy to say, we're never going to get out of this. Might as well just accept it. But they didn't. They kept fighting. They kept innovating. And that's why we are where we are today. And we're still constantly progressing right now as we speak. And
Exactly. They always had a positive mindset.
exactly. And that's why it's up to us to do the same thing so we can progress that even more. Miss Cake, I think I missed you. Who is your inventor? Who would you be bringing to the party?
So for me, he's honestly a little bit unconventional, but it's something I found out a while back that I thought was amazing, and that's Judge Adele Your Guy. I actually went to Adele Your Guy Elementary School, and I had no idea it was named after an African American man here in Las Vegas. He was one of the first African American judges to stand on the court bench in Nevada. And not only that, he also has an Adele Your Guy Center down by the west side, right connected to the Boys and Girls Club called the 80 Guy Center. And there you just give back to the community. A lot of the children in the community go to that center to get help with their schooling, as well as any food banks and all of that stuff goes on there. So just to know that he was one of the first judges in Nevada, and not only that, he has all of these schools and these centers in Las Vegas that continually gives back to the community, to me is amazing. So he's somebody I would love to meet and love to talk about, the judicial system here in Las Vegas. I think that would be amazing.
That is something that needs to be talked about more for sure. And
Because
also,
I
yeah,
went
it's
to his
important.
school my entire elementary year and I had no idea.
Yeah,
To me, that's just terrible.
that's crazy. I'm glad you did research and you found out that. That's amazing. And yeah, Black people who not only make inventions but just are innovative in general and really lead the pathway for others to follow them. That's amazing as well. And the fact that he gave back and he has a school named after him, that's also amazing. Um, and I actually forgot to give mine. My inventor, who I am bringing to the party, is Mary Van Britten Brown. And basically, in 1966, she actually built the foundation for all the companies you see today for home security, such as Ring, such as ADT. She really laid down the foundation that hasn't been done before. And she was actually a nurse, and she had like alarms and microphones, and then she got a patent for it. And then after that expired, a lot of companies followed her, but I just feel like that's amazing. And home security obviously helps a lot of people out today. So now that everybody has their inventions and everybody's heard everyone else's, Day Day, can I ask you which one is the craziest? Which one made you really think? Like, you could use your own if you want. Which one really shocked you?
I actually like yours because everybody does need home protection these days, like security systems and everything, So Yeah, so I like that one. That was probably the most one that caught my attention for sure.
Definitely. When I heard that, I was like, whoa, I have to read the whole article on this. That was crazy. But let me pass this to Deshaun B, my boy. How can teens get more educated on their culture? Because a lot of us have these amazing uh, things that we just don't know about. Like Kayla, she went to the school, but how can we really get more educated and learn things like Kayla learned with the person who's the school's named after?
I definitely feel like teens can learn more about their history just by switching their viewpoint and switching the channels that they're getting their information on. I know Netflix has a ton of documentaries, and just really talking to your grandparents and actually seeing how they got educated. And if you have a set of grandparents who's not that educated, really just reaching out to people in your community that really specialize in Black history and specialize in giving back. Because I feel like once you find and get connected with those type of people, they would definitely help you on your journey of discovering more, but definitely getting those books. A lot of the knowledge that we seek are found in books. So we definitely just have to start being more open to reading books and picking those up.
Definitely. I like that response, and it's true, definitely, because a lot of channels are looking at do not give the full story. So make sure you always have an open mind, look at both sides of the argument, and just really look at every source you can. Serenity, let me ask you, when you were researching, because when we researched this inventor stuff for Black History Month, what type of feelings did it give you when you're really looking at all these inventions and just like all this amazing stuff that Black people have done? How did that make you feel?
Actually, when I found out about the adventure that I seen, I had actually went to Apex Museum, which is a historical African American historical museum in Atlanta, and they literally have a whole wall of Black inventors. And when I was looking at all that, I noticed, like, to be honest, America could not run if Black people did not invent a lot of this stuff. Like, honestly, we invented a whole lot of like good things that you would never know that, we like they try to act like African Americans did not invent. And I feel like if we was to have two separate like worlds, we would really be Wakanda. Like we really would be Wakanda because we actually invented like a whole lot of things. And then people like you would never know because it's not in history books because they try to act like we're just slaves. Like they just try to put slavery in there and then that's it.
Definitely, yeah, that's a great response, and it's true. I did feel amazing when I was reading all this amazing stuff that Black people have contributed, and it really made me feel great as well. Like it really inspired me myself because I want to be one of these people to really change the world and encourage my other Black people to also encourage them how I've been encouraged by these inventors. I'm sorry, and then also Deshaun B, I want to ask you this question. Why is knowing our history important? Because I know a lot of people know a little bit, but a lot of people don't know the full story, or there's bits and pieces that are missing. So why is it important that we know our history? What does that do for us?
When it comes to just knowing your history, you're able to know exactly what we've been through, where we're coming from, and it helps you know exactly where you need to go. You definitely need to understand where your ancestors been and where they came from, because that's how you're going to know why you were selected to continue leading the journey that you have I should say, just kind of been bestowed upon you. Because it's like when people have purposes and destinies, it's something I feel like our ancestors knew that we would be doing. And once you start to know who your ancestors are and what they actually believed in and what they were fighting for, you realize that it was just passed down to you to continue with your journey.
Definitely, no, I love that response. That was real for sure. And I want to ask anybody, does anyone have any other specific guests that they would want to bring to the party? Because I know I do. I have Garrett Morgan. He's probably widely talked about. And he's a pretty big cliche, but I'm not necessarily saying that you guys don't know him and he's unknown. He's pretty well known, but I just can't believe his impact. He literally, every time you step in a car and you go drive wherever you want to go to the store, you are impacted by these lights that he put everywhere throughout the world, not just America. And I just definitely can't believe that a Black person created that. It really shows that limitless. You can have an invention that not only is used in states or even countries, but throughout the entire world in every civilization. So that's just crazy to me. And that really surprised me.
Yeah, I have one I want to bring. I actually I like Kanye West with his Yeezy invention. I feel like he had a major impact on, today's society because everybody wants Yeezys, right? It's like a big, like a fashion statement, the Yeezy brand. And plus it created a billionaire. Kanye West is now a billionaire. So that's great. And he's Black. So,
Yeah. I feel like that's amazing. He was able to really like build the hype around something. And the youth, like a couple years ago, the youth were treating it, and they still are, like gold, like literal gold. Like they would do anything for their shoes. And if you think about it,
the hype behind it,
yeah, it's not necessarily the shoe. Like it's not the most, it's not the most comfortable shoe, or it's not like it's not literally made out of gold. It's the idea around the shoe, and the fact
the
that
brand,
yeah,
for sure.
it shows his power that he can really make a shoe seem like this godly, amazing thing. Like that's just crazy.
Right.
And Ms. Cake, I know you have something to say. Can you go ahead?
Yeah, I just had somebody excuse me because I do not know his name, but I ended up finding out that the person who like created Lowe's is an African American man. So I know when everybody was like support Black businesses, like me and my family started going to Lowe's a lot more instead of Home Depot. So I just thought I should put that out there that Lowe's is managed and I believe created by an African American man. And I just thought that was interesting because I'm not gonna lie, like there's certain industries and certain stuff that I don't picture African Americans participating in. And so learning that was like okay then, like that's what's up. So I thought I'd put that out there.
That's amazing. I had no clue. Seriously, I got to do my research. The overall, in this like past 15 minutes, I've learned so much. I really need to start doing that. And speaking of which, Deshaun, do you have anybody who not with inventions or innovator, but who do you look up to that like inspires you? Not only for, it doesn't have to be for inventions, but just to better yourself. Who is a Black figure? Because I know we're celebrating them in Black History Month and all throughout the year. Who really inspires you to create and do better for yourself?
Honestly, Terrence J. I've been watching Terrence J since he appeared on 106 in Park and just seeing his journey from being a media correspondent to becoming an actor to being an influencer. Just you've been able to see his journey, and throughout the whole entire struggle, he's always remained humble. And even to this day, he's very humble and knows a lot of the upcoming talent and is very connected with all the people who's already been in the industry. So just seeing what being humble can get you, I really look up to Terrence J.
Definitely, that's an important part of the journey. Remaining humble, because it's very easy to, especially when you come up so much, it's very easy to not be humble and just celebrate everything. But the fact that you be humble and still celebrate, that just shows how powerful and how true of a person you are to yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Miss KK, could I ask you if you could go back to in history to one Black event? It could be any event ever. If you could go back, which one would you go to? Because I have a lot.
Wow, that's a good question.
It is.
Off the bat, I think I would say you guys the movie that Taraji P. Henson was a part of?
Hidden Figures, I got you.
Exactly. I think I would be one. I don't be knowing dates like that, y'all. I sucked at history. But I would like to be around when that event happened and when they successfully were able to launch because of these amazing women. I think that was just a powerful statement for African Americans and also women, which I am both of those things. So I think being a part of that and being able to see their impact and what happened afterwards would be very interesting to see, and also just to meet them and like hear all the stories that weren't in the movies, because y'all know they got to make it pretty and nice for the movies, but there's some things that probably would have happened. So I think I would want to go back then for that.
I definitely 100% agree. Yeah. When I saw that movie, I was just like, wow, that really happened. I watched it like 3 times. It was such an amazing movie. Just a great story in general. I want to thank you guys for your responses and thank everyone who's tuning into this Teen Talk discussion. Do not forget to follow us on Instagram at Teen Talk Vegas 881. And if you have the chance, check us out on teentalkvegas.com. teentalkvegas.com. If you enjoyed this discussion, continue